Oh, yeah, somebody said that. I heard.
That was a
Boston. Did
Boston
he?
was
Step up,
good.
step up a little bit off there. There you go.
Congratulations on your win. It looks like you definitely went back to the wrestling roots. Dominated him the whole fight. Feelings on the fight?
I thought it was great. I did what I wanted to do out there was get the finish. I'd like to get the finish a little sooner, but it was good because I got to go out and work on a few things, work on some ground and pound, landed every strike that I threw on my feet pretty much. Got the takedowns there when I needed them. He tried to wrestle a little bit, but that was more to my advantage than his, I think. And still got the finish. So it was good. I got to almost fight the whole fight and still put some work in. And I don't think he landed one punch, maybe one punch the whole fight or something. But it was good. It was fun to get in there and be able to scrap.
Now, Harrison wasn't able to finish him. You were able to finish him. It appeared to actually dominate him a little bit more than Harrison. Your thoughts on that? Maybe a possible rematch in the future in the playoffs with Harrison?
Yeah, like I said before this fight, Harrison's super solid. He shuts guys down, and I knew that Juma was going to be tough to finish because he's just a tough guy. He's got a hard head. I mean, he can take some shots and just kind of. I think he was kind of in there against Harrison and myself, just trying to stay alive and not really trying to win. And I could tell the way that he was fighting scared a little bit and kind of hesitant, and all my feints and my shot fakes were working really well. So I knew going into it that that's how he was going to be. He was just going to try and hang on and try not to get finished. And so I just did everything I could to get the finish and had to put him away. I just had to prove a point.
Can you just talk about the finish? It looked like you were going for a rear naked choke, but instead locked on neck crank. And
Yep.
you don't see a lot of neck cranks from that position usually.
Yeah.
Just talk about, did you recognize that you had a neck crank, or was it something? Was it something that he? Was that something you were consciously going for, or did it happen to just fall into place?
For me, when I usually am on the back in that position, it's either if they're not giving me the neck, I go to the crank. And I only use one hook in at a time so they can't spin into me. A lot of guys will just throw both hooks in, go for the neck crank, and then the guy just spins on them. But he can't spin that way because I have the opposite leg in and I'm turning the head the opposite way as the leg that I have in. So anybody that knows anything about top wrestling or grappling, you're taking their head the opposite way of their body, and he has nowhere to spin with that. So if he's either going to give me the neck or give me his jaw. So.
With the next one being 2 fights in one night, does that change your approach any?
No, five rounds, or potential of 5 rounds. I've fought plenty of 5-round fights. It's 2 different opponents, but I'm focused on the first fight, whoever the first fight's going to be, depending on how they do all the criteria for the rankings, how Ray and Carlos were just talking about how the breakdown goes. So it doesn't matter who it is. I still have to go out there one fight at a time and get the win.
Do you think they will match you with Harrison?
Not in the quarters. I don't think so. I think it'll be set up because he's not going to be 7. So even if the criteria goes a certain way, I doubt he'll be as low as 7. So we'll see, because 2 and 7 are most likely quarters if they do it how regular brackets are done. So we'll see.
So you're expecting to see him in the finals?
Semis.
Okay, semis.
Yeah, if he's 7. So we'll see.
I recall you saying that you were very thrilled when your first opponent decided to wrestle with you. You must have been very happy when Juma decided to do it as well.
I don't know why they do it, but it's good. It's good for me. So, I mean, it's fighting though. People may have confidence in their ground game or their grappling, and you have to go for it. You have to have that confidence going into a fight. So I applaud him for trying to wrestle me, but nobody's going to beat me in the wrestling game or the grappling game. So.
Now you got your points, your seed. How are you feeling emotionally now that you're guaranteed a playoff spot?
I mean, I was guaranteed before the fight, I'm pretty sure, but going into this fight, I just wanted to get the finish, and I was kind of putting more pressure on myself just to get the finish. And then once I opened up in the cage in that first round and kind of relaxed a little bit, I was able to, just let that go. And if the finish accumulated, I was going to get it. If not, it wasn't. But luckily, when I heard my coaches say, short time, 1 minute to go, I just went for the crank because that was what I had there. And he was actually in my gloves the whole fight. And the ref did a good job of getting him out of my gloves and getting his fingers out of there. And then once he got his fingers out of there in the neck crank position, I was able to get it and sink it in a little bit. But he was just trying to survive in there. He wasn't trying to win the fight. He was trying not to get finished.
Now, postseason, you have to win 2 fights in one night. What's your mindset going into it?
Just win the first fight. You can't get to the second fight without winning the first. So to me, there's only 2 rounds on that night. And then once I win those 2 rounds, there's going to be 3 more later. So just focus on the first one, focus on that first opponent, and go out there and get it done.
Thank you.
Any part of your fight game you're looking to improve for the next round?
Always, every part. I try and improve every time I'm in the gym, every day, learning from different people, learning from different coaches. And since I've made the change to Las Vegas from my old team in California, I feel that I've made a lot of gains in different areas. My transition game from my fit-ins to my takedowns, my grappling, my ground and pound, a lot of things have improved already, and it's only going to get better because we have 11 weeks until the quarters start.
Is the gap from here to October, is that going to be a problem at all, or?
No, it's actually good. We get a little break. I get to go home for a little bit and relax, and then go back out to Vegas in August and spend my last 7-8 weeks there and get back into training. But the longer layoff is a little better just because this was 6 weeks from fight to fight, and from now to October is going to be about 11 weeks. I'm pretty sure it's exactly 11 weeks. So it gives me more time at home to be able to relax, and going to training camp away from home, 2,000 miles away, is, you know, it's for work, so it's something I have to do. But I like to be home and be able to relax, hang out with my wife and my dogs, and drink some beer.
Watch some pro wrestling?
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of pro wrestling, is Ultimate Warrior your favorite pro wrestler, or if he's not, who is your favorite pro wrestler?
My favorite pro wrestler? Damn, that's tough.
Past and present. If you
Actually, it was probably Bill Goldberg or Stone Cold Steve Austin. One of those two would be a toss-up for those two.
you have any favorites that are currently active right now?
The Miz, because he's from Ohio.
There you go.
It's always a good choice.
Yep.
Do you plan on bringing any wrestlers from your former school, Buckeyes, help train at all?
Actually, I'll be going there because they're there all year round, because the Ohio Regional Training Center and Ohio State is 15 minutes from my house. So anytime I'm home, I go in there and work out with those guys. But during camp, everybody that I train with is at Extreme Couture and at 10th Planet. So we go back and forth between those 2 places and get our training in. And we have a great system going on right now, and I'm really happy with what we're doing there.
Anything else, guys? All right, thanks, Lance.
Thank you guys. I
Thanks, Will.
appreciate it.